first thing I want to do is get down on my knees. But I have, no, you get to stand up. So I have a t-shirt here. This is just a $3.46 one from Walmart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure my daughter here, Miss Catherine. And you know what, that 25-inch mark is really good. Hi. So it's going to be 25 inches that I want done. Catherine, do not mess with my sewing machine. Oh goodness. I hope this can work out really well. Okay. I do have a pre-hemmed and basting stitch skirt here. I will show you how to do that in the older girl's dress here, but so I need it 25 inches finished. And this is roughly this skirt is going to be 16 inches. So I need a shirt of 9 inches. I like to get it where the shoulder seam hits the sleeve seam. So I measure from there. And again, I need it to be 9 inches plus my seam allowance. So if you do a 1/2 inch seam allowance, you're going to need 9.5 inches. If you're going to do a 5/8 seam allowance, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to need 9 5/8, which actually I just do 9.5 because I don't like to work with that 9 5/8. But if you're particular about that stuff, that's what you're going to need to do. Alrighty. So I'm going to cut this off. This is going to get cut off after I can get my scissors. Alright, so I just kind of snipped it right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of cut across. And you can make that more perfect or straight or however you want to do it. But in the end, you need to cut however much off you want. Okay, so I will try to link over here a video on how to do basting on your sewing machine if you have never done it before. But for time purposes, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do now. These are my top 2 threads from my basting stitch. And when I sew my basting stitches, I place this on my machine like, well, I place it, you know, like this. I don't do the wrong side on top, I do the right side on top. And so when I'm pulling my stitches, this is going to be the least likely way to break your threads. Okay? And so I'm just going to pull these all around and it's going to create a gather, but I can't do it. I need 2 hands to do that. So I'm going to do a little bit and then I'll show you what that looks like. Alrighty. So here's my 2 stitches, or my 2 threads. And I'm just going to carefully pull and it creates the ruffle. Okay? Okay, so hopefully this isn't too confusing for you. Yes, that's another dress that I'm going to be making. But here we have, I completed the gathers and I tied it off. Let's see, I think I tied it here, yeah. Whoops, I took all 4 threads and made a knot so that as I was pushing the threads back to create a more even gather, that they wouldn't come undone. Okay, so take all 4 of the threads, kind of loop it around and tie it off. Boom, done. And then I turned this inside out because what's going to happen, and again, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Let's see, what if I tried doing what I did last time? There we go. Okay. So what I have here is the skirt, and I'm going to take the side seam of the shirt and stick it inside the skirt. Again, I can't really see what I'm doing, so hopefully you can see it. And then, you know, match up your side seams. Whoops. Okay, don't pull on your t-shirt, you'll stretch it out, but just kind of drape it on, okay? And then you're just going to See, I have it matched up on the tops there as best I can, leaning over my table to show this to you. And then I'm just going to make a 5-inch seam allowance all the way around, okay? And then I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. It's hard to do one-handed. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like. Alright, so I'm all done. As you can see, I am going to trim it to about that far, and then I'm going to do a zigzag stitch all around to kind of finish it off. If you have a serger, definitely serge it off, but if you have a serger, I'm going to assume that you do not even need this tutorial. So there you go, and that's what I'm going to do. Alright, there we go. Just a simple t-shirt dress that kids can run around and play in. And for me, it only cost me $3.50, the cost of the shirt, because I've already had the fabric needed to be used up. But you can easily make this for under $10. And yeah, so let me get started on her sister's one so you can kind of see what how this process all begins. This is a piece of leftover fabric. Here's the selvage, here's the top, here's the bottom. This is a piece of fabric left over from the curtains I made for the girls' room. And so, call me Maria Von Trapp, I had enough fabric left over to make a couple dresses for the girls. So I'm going to make just some simple, plain, you know, dresses that they can wear, and very affordable. Oh, and for me, that means I get to use up more fabric in my stash. Okay, so the first thing, you know, depending on the size that you need, the little girl only needed a 44 inches width, but the size 10 that I'm going to make for my older daughter, she's going to need 2 widths of this, and then we're actually going to cut it down. I actually have this already measured. Okay, making sure that kids didn't need me. And I showed you how I did that. So this is the older girls, and once I have a straight edge, and I do that by snipping and then ripping across, and it creates a straight edge. It also is very messy because you're going to have a ton of threads, but it is the, see, here's my snip, and this will rip straight. Now remember, I've been sewing for, how old am I? I'm almost to say I'm 8, so, or 28, so at least 20 years I've been sewing. Okay. Alright, so now I have two pieces of 44 wide, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to match them up like this, and I'm going to try not to knock over the camera. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure 36 inches across. Okay, so that's extra fabric. That's just going to make it almost too full. And so I'm going to take that off. Alright, so you can do a blind seam to sew this together. And again, I will try to link a way to do that up here. Or you can do what I'm going to do, and that's just going to stitch here and then zigzag over it using that stitch. This stitch I don't have to do because these are finished seams, so I just need to sew down here at probably a 5/8 seam allowance. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to sew the side seams. Okay, so the bottom of your skirt, let's see. Hey Katie, can you be my assistant today? Alright, so to make a hem, you're going to fold it in half, or you're going to fold it down, let's say 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and then fold it down again, and that's going to create a nice clean edge, and then you're just going to stitch along this edge here, and for me it's usually the edge of my presser foot. Can you see this? Can you see my finger in the camera? Okay, keep it on my finger. Okay, so you can kind of see how it's
It's finished. Good.
All right. Thank you, Miss Katie. So, hopefully you can kind of see what I was doing there.